This is the Besotted Pride of West London podcast. We're coming to you from Elland Road, and there's you can say it's a ball draw. A ball draw, a score draw, a no score draw. 0-0, Brentford 0, Leeds United 0, or Leeds United 0, Brentford 0. And I tell you something, this game, at the end of the day, 0-0, you might say it was a fair result. It wasn't much happening on the other end, was it?
It was a good game, Bill. It was not much either way. I don't know, not much to say really. We gave a good effort. I think Chris Hire had a really good game, solid at the back. David Raya didn't have to do much. Enjoy the game, enjoy the day out. Thank you, Leeds. 4 points, take it.
Brentford fans are singing going down to Leeds United. It's not up for us. It's nothing to do with us, if they are or if they're not. I mean, I thought Leeds kind of equipped themselves well up front. They didn't seem to have much going on, seemed to hold the ball quite well, pass the ball quite well. They pressed us quite a lot, but they're playing at home. I mean, to tell you something, this game here today, what do you reckon? What do you reckon?
Sorry, mate. One second.
He's got no idea. He's got no idea. It doesn't matter. He's completely baffled. Completely baffled by this game. Talk to me about this match.
I think it's a game that it was even. It felt like it was going to be 0-0 from a long way out. Both sides struggled to create really clear opportunities. Maybe opened up a little bit towards the end, and both sides had a couple of half chances. But at the end of the day, a good point for Brentford, to be honest. Good point for the Bees.
They're saying it's a good point. Some people are saying it's a good point for Brentford today. I mean, the match today, it was much of a match, wasn't it? I mean, not many chances created. Leeds were obviously determined not to let us score. 4 players on Ivan Toney. We didn't manage to break them down as much. We had a chance at the end, which we probably could have put the ball in the back of the net, but we didn't do, did we?
It was one of those days. We weren't our best today, but you take a point if you're not playing your best. If you can get a point away from home when you're not playing your best, we didn't really hold the ball well today. We kept on turning the ball back to them and brought a lot of pressure on ourselves, but at the end of the day, we defended well and got a point. And if you don't have a great day and get a point, I'll take it.
0-0. Leeds 0, Brentford 0. Brentford fans singing Leeds going down. I mean, I'm not quite sure about that, I'll be honest with you. I think that they've got enough out there to keep them up. But the match itself was a little bit disappointing, wasn't it?
It was disappointing. I'd say David Raya made some incredible saves in the second half there. I thought we could have been more clinical when we had the ball in the wide areas and we were cutting it back inside. Just a few miscues that you don't usually see. We're a lot more deadly than that usually. I also thought that we could have taken more long shots, when we had the ball on the edge of the penalty area. But yeah, a bit disappointing, but we'll take the point. We'll take a point of that. We'll take a point on that one. We're talking about the old songs are the favourite, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we can't.
So what do you think?
We always do seem to bring out for Leeds.
Talk to me about the match.
Blimey, I think it was kind of a war of attrition, wasn't it? Really today, quite hard for us, but it's a good away point.
A good away point. I mean, we had our team up there. Toney was in. We got Mbeumo was in. Leeds United, they come off the back of a big 5-0 win after having not a great run before this one. This could have been a bit of banana skin, which we seem to have survived, didn't it?
Yeah, and we got better at that, haven't we, in the Premier League, I think. So we come here now and we pick up a nice point, and it helps us climb the table. So you can't really ask for any more than that, can you?
I'm just asking you, at any time to this game, do you think we might be able to nick this, or do you think...
Of course. Yeah, of course we could have done, because we always do.
And at the end as well, we had a chance in the 90th plus, because they scored Leeds last season. We were 2-1 up, and then it got to the 90th plus third minute, and Bamford scored that goal, which made us very upset. But today, in the 90th plus third minute, we had Janelt. We passed the ball around loads, and it came to Janelt, and that was a chance, wasn't it?
Of course it was, and normally you'd back him to just put it in the back of the net from there, wouldn't you? So, yeah, that's a shame, but
we take the point.
Take the point, indeed.
You bees. So, Bees fans streaming out of Elland Road, actually making their way back to London as we go. Somebody called this a war of attrition. I mean, I wouldn't quite say it was a war, but I would like to say that Leeds were determined to not let us score today, weren't they?
Yeah, it was hard work, Bill. It was really hard work, but I thought we dug in, and that's all you can do. You come to Elland Road, you dig in. We got a point. We could have nicked it. We had a couple of chances near the end, but, I thought they were probably the better side, so, take a point, move on. That's what you do in the Prem. We're still unbeaten in quite a few games, and happy lad. Get back on the train, a few beers, back to London.
Yeah. Looking at this game, looking at the team that we had out there, obviously we've got an unbeaten record that goes back before the World Cup, way before the World Cup as well. It's one of those ones where, again, it could have gone either way. But Leeds United, off the back of that 5-0 win, I was a bit nervous.
Yeah, no, I was nervous. I think they're a better side than their league position really reflects.
100%?
100%. So, it was never going to be easy coming here. And if you come here and get a point, you've got to be happy with that. We're doing well. I think, next game is, Southampton, I think. I'll be happy. We move on. We move on.
We move on. We got Bees in the house here. We got Brian the Bee in the house here. That's how you doing. So listen, just talk to me about this game. Were you happy with the result at the end?
Yeah, great result, mate. Yeah.
Tell us why.
I'd take all day long because I thought we were going to be up against it today. At the end of the day, we had everything to lose. They had everything to gain, didn't they? And they're hard team to beat away from home. Fans are up for it, as you could see from the start. So yeah, great performance by the boys. Defensively solid. Give the ball away a little bit up front, up top, too easily. Yeah, I think, the second ball, we didn't win many second balls either. So, but yeah, take the draw.
Absolutely, take the draw. So, listen, you're a Yorkshire man as well yourself, so you're going to have to endure the Yorkshire characters giving you loads if they'd scored another 93rd minute. Like they did equaliser, like they did last year. But it's not this time, is it?
No, it's that walk back to the station I'm dreading. But yeah, I'm happy with a draw. Point, didn't lose. That's good.
Tell us why. The game. Talk to us about the game itself.
Game itself, we were well organised. We were trying to break down their rhythm, which you can understand. After watching them against Cardiff in the week, the forwards are on fire for Leeds. So I thought we'd done a pretty good job, really.
And players, Brentford players that you were, delighted with today? Say delighted with or happy that they did a good job?
Yeah, Pinnock and me at the back, were good.
That block by me. Talk us through that one in the first half.
Great block by me. Pinnock is normal self. Madge Rosleff on the right done well against their left winger. Defensive wise, pretty good. Midfield could have been better, I thought. We gave away a lot of possession in midfield, and
Jensen wasn't the same Jensen as he has been the last few games, has he?
No, and a bit disappointed with Justice De Silva really as well. But
we take the point.
There you go. I'm happy with a point. Yeah.
You beast.
Yeah, you please.
Outside the ground as well, making our way back to the station and reflection on that game. It's one of those games where if one goal was scored, it would have completely opened up. But I think for Leeds United, they wanted to keep it tight against us. Our defence was keeping it very tight. Midfield, as we said before, someone Carrot said before, wasn't as good as it has been recently, and we just didn't get the opportunities that we did. And the ones that we did get, the half chances, we didn't score. So it's ended up 0-0. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think you guys played quite defensively, but you had to, that was a good tactic, and you frustrated them. They were really poor. It's my first time at Elland Road, and I was quite happy to see how poor they were. I don't really understand what all the fuss is about that you get from these Leeds fans, thinking they're champions of Europe or something. Don't quite understand the background to that, but they certainly weren't champions today. And, poor Toney got the hell pulled out of him, and referee should have got a grip of that, I thought. And I just think it was hard. I think you had your two guys up front, but they weren't getting fed as well as maybe they could have done. But I guess it was just that cautiousness that... But, at one point, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, you've got to be happy. Just quickly, we haven't talked about this before, but the referee... we just got... Listen, I try not to sort of talk about the referee in post-match podcast because I think it sounds like you're moaning, especially if the result didn't go your way. But I thought the referee today was particularly poor. He seemed to have the ball more than the Leeds
forwards for a start. You know, the ball. How many times did the referee get that ball? Hit him at least 4 or 5 times as well. Made the wrong decisions. He's making wrong decisions left, right, and centre. There was times when Leeds were falling over, and then he gave them the foul. There's at least 3 trips that they did where they tripped over themselves, and he gave them the foul. Now, I'm saying this watching the game from the stands, so that's what it looked like from the stands. You would have seen replays on the TV back at home if you saw it on TV, but I'm sure that's what it seemed like. That ref, he wasn't great at all.
No, I don't think he was great, and like you say, he seemed a bit clumsy really, and I think some of his decisions leave a lot to be desired.
You think he had a white shirt maybe underneath that blue one?
I've no idea, but all I'd say is, you know, obviously we're not in the Premiership at the minute, but you know, all that diving and jumping on the floor from the Leeds guys, it's just terrible. Just the usual rubbish you get in the Premiership, I suppose.
So listen, I mean, marching on together, Brentford marching on together. They haven't quite got the 6th spot that we could have got today, which has been really quite bizarre. Brentford playing going home in 6th spot from here, but still we're in a good strong position. And Leeds United, this, you know, listen, if they, you know, I thought they did all right today. If they carry on like that, there are definitely 3 worse teams in this division than them. But saying that, they're not out of the woods, as they say, are they?
No, they're not out of the woods, but knowing Leeds, they'll survive. You know, I can't really see.
You don't sound very happy about that.
No,
you're a Yorkshire person. You don't seem happy.
I want to pass them as they come down and we go up. Blades.
United, there you go. Yeah, I managed to drag it out for you, didn't I?
Red and white Wizards.
That's right, red and white unite. Okay. Anyway, listen, safe journey back, yeah?
Right.
So we're back into the town. We see the Leeds fans, the Bees fans flooding back into the town centre as well. Plenty of time to reflect on that game. Sometimes we talk about games of 2 halves. That wasn't even a game of 2 halves. That was a kind of game of sort of squish, squash, kind of not much really happening, sort of in the right places, wasn't it?
I'd call it a game of no halves.
And what's that?
It's just, I think for Brentford it was a game of no halves. I feel every game, Thomas Frank, he's got a game plan. You know, you can see it straight away. 10 minutes in, you can tell, right, this is the Bees. This is what we're going to set to do. We're going to win this game. You know, from 10 minutes in. But today, just never started. I think Frank started the game. He just didn't want to lose it. He didn't want to lose this game. And to be fair, I didn't think it was fair on the travelling Bees fans. I thought we should have started a lot better. Ivan Toney didn't look interested. I don't know why. Things on his head. But maybe that reflected on the other players. I don't know. Norsgaard didn't want to touch the ball, and it's very, very unlike him. And yeah, it didn't seem right to me from the off.
Didn't you think? I mean, to be fair, the Leeds players were. I mean, they're on us. I mean, when they pressed us hard all game. Yeah. They tried to not give us any time on the ball as well. We had to move that ball around quickly to try and get the ball away from them to not make the mistakes. And I mean, the big question we had at half time is, would they be able to carry that for the full 90 minutes? Which they sort of kind of couldn't do for the full 90 minutes, but we still couldn't manage to kind of get anything out of it in the end, could we?
No, and I think Frank should have read that. He should have seen that start the second half. They did start at the start of the first half. They were pressing us. They did have that game plan. They knew what we were about. And the second half, we should have come out a lot better. And we seemed to just sort of come alive when we made changes. And I think it was too late. Did we have a shot in the second half? Only until about 10 minutes till the end, and we looked lively. We did. We really looked lively in the last 10 minutes. Wissa came on, and he always does give us a little bit of an injection. He always does. And it was a lot better than what Toney showed today. He really didn't look at the game. He really didn't want to know. So
I'm going to just say one last point. There's an argument to say that sometimes we'll say, look, I'm not being funny. You've come out of this ground despondent. I've come out of this ground despondent. Yeah. You know, either dropping 2 points after getting last-minute equalisers or losing games. You said that Thomas Frank didn't want to lose this game. In this league as well, don't you have to be slightly tactical? And you sort of look at this Leeds game and say, I know they're there for the taking, they're 17th, but they're not a bad side, and we need to just make sure that we do not lose this game. End of story.
No, definitely. I mean, I spoke to Leeds fans on the way up here. They thought they were going to lose this game. They were adamant they were going to lose this game. I said to them, "You're going to win this game," and to be honest, that's just me being a Brentford fan. I'm never confident. I'm never confident any side of the game, whether we're going to win or lose. But it's just there was something missing today. Definitely something missing, but that's definitely points dropped today. They're not a good side, Leeds. They're not a good side, but I don't know. It's frustrating. It is frustrating today.
You beats.
You Reds.
So we've got Leeds fans in the house here today. Like I said to you, bit of time to reflect. Long walk back from the ground and the station. Leeds fans heading all over the place. Bees fans are heading down back to King's Cross. And like I said to you, we feel a bit frustrated. You feel a bit frustrated as well, don't you?
Very frustrated, yeah. I mean, like I say, we'll take it after the 5-2 at your place, but, we should have won today, really. I think we were a bit unambitious. We could have had more of an opportunity. I think Marsh's tactics are a bit limited. And, if we'd have been a bit more adventurous, we could have won the game today, I think.
I mean, did you think, if you listen back to the podcast, a lot of Brentford fans were saying at the end of the day, they thought that maybe if any team was going to win it today, Leeds United were. But the other thing is that you think that Marsh might have been a little bit stunned by the 5-2 and he just thought, tell you something, if anything, I just don't want Brentford to score.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think, now we're near the bottom, we're a bit worried about being too adventurous and, they need to be a little bit braver on the ball, I think. We were good in possession, but when it came to the final third, we just didn't quite create enough opportunities. We had a few half chances, but apart from Nonto's shot near the end, it looked like we were going to get a draw. And, I think given that we're nervous and we need points, it's more important to keep clean sheets at the moment, and at least we did that, so I'm happy with the clean sheet.
And you played Cardiff a few days ago, you got put 5 goals in the back of the net, and that for you must have been a massive relief. Yeah. Did you think you might be coming into this game thinking, actually, tell you something, we can score?
Yeah, but Cardiff are near the bottom of the Championship, aren't they? So, different kettle of fish. Playing Brentford, who are 8th, 9th, whatever, they're a good team almost four times this season. So it was always going to be a more difficult game against Brentford.
And this season for you, Leeds United, how nervous are you, or are you not?
Yeah, of course I'm nervous. Just look at the table. Our performances have been okay, but we're up until recently we've been poor at the back. I think the new signing, Verber's a good defender, and he'll make a difference. But we've got to keep clean sheets. If you look at what Forest have done, the reason they've climbed the table is they've tightened up at the back, and we've just been conceding 2 goals a game. And you can't win games if you concede 2 goals every game. So we've got to be tighter at the back and grind out results.
Safe journey back.
Cheers, thank you.